The glass doors of Lancaster and Company opened with a faint chime, letting in the crisp morning air along with a flood of footsteps from employees rushing to begin another busy day. The reception area buzzed with the usual chaos, phones ringing, heels tapping, conversations overlapping. Amid it all, Emily sat at the front desk, quietly adjusting her ID badge. She was an intern, just 3 weeks into her placement, and she already felt like a ghost among giants. Emily was painfully shy, the type of girl who avoided drawing attention even when she was right. Her dark brown hair fell in soft waves that she used as a shield to hide her face, and her quiet presence often made people overlook her. She knew it. Sometimes she even preferred it. But there was also a part of her that longed to matter, to not just blend into the background of everyone else's story. Her parents had always told her that she had a gift, an ability to connect with people in ways that words alone couldn't. Emily grew up with a cousin who was deaf, and from the age of 10 she had learned sign language to communicate with him. To her, it was natural, like breathing, though in this towering corporate world, she hadn't found a reason to use it. Until that morning. The glass doors opened again, and a woman stepped inside. She looked a little lost, clutching a folder tightly to her chest. She was in her late 30s, neatly dressed but hesitant, her eyes scanning the room. Emily noticed her instantly, not because she was different, but because her eyes carried a story, an urgency mixed with uncertainty. "Good morning," Emily said softly, standing from behind the desk. The woman glanced at her lips, then back at her folder, and gave a small, polite nod. She didn't speak. Instead, she raised her hand and gestured awkwardly. Emily froze, recognizing the familiar shapes of sign language, though shaky, as if the woman wasn't sure if anyone would understand her. Emily's heart leapt. She hesitated for a fraction of a second. What if she messed up? What if people stared? But then she remembered her cousin, the frustration in his eyes when no one tried. So, with a deep breath, Emily raised her hands and signed back. "Hello. Can I help you?" The woman's eyes widened. Relief flooded her face so quickly it almost made Emily tear up. For the first time since she walked in, the woman smiled, genuine, grateful, unguarded. She signed back, her movements faster now, more confident. "I'm here for an appointment. My name is Grace. I have a meeting with Mr. Daniels." Emily nodded and motioned for her to sit. She checked the system, her fingers trembling slightly, not from nerves at the task, but from the sheer weight of what just happened. It wasn't just an interaction. It was a bridge. She led Grace to the waiting area, continuing to sign casually, asking if she wanted water or coffee. Grace laughed silently, shaking her head. Emily couldn't stop smiling, even though she knew most people around probably weren't even noticing. And that was fine. What Emily didn't know was that someone was watching. From the mezzanine floor above, behind the glass walls of his corner office, Richard Lancaster, CEO of the company, had been observing the entire exchange. He was a man known for his sharp mind and unyielding standards, often intimidating even the most seasoned employees. But right then, he wasn't thinking about quarterly reports or the upcoming board meeting. He was watching an intern, one he hadn't noticed before, effortlessly reach someone in a way he, with all his authority, could not. Richard leaned back in his chair, curiosity piqued. He made a mental note to keep an eye on her. Meanwhile, Emily had no idea. The morning passed in a blur. Grace was eventually called in for her meeting, but before she left, she signed something quickly to Emily. "Thank you. You made me feel seen." Emily blinked hard, nodding, her throat tight. She wasn't used to people saying things like that to her. She wasn't used to mattering. That should have been the end of it, a small, unnoticed act of kindness in a world too busy to care. But it wasn't. Later that week, during a staff gathering in the main conference hall, Emily sat quietly in the back row, as usual. She doodled in her notebook, pretending not to notice the chatter around her. Then Mr. Lancaster walked in, commanding silence with nothing more than his presence. He began his speech about innovation, customer focus, and the importance of inclusivity in business. Typical corporate jargon, Emily thought. Until he paused. Earlier this week, he said, his eyes sweeping the room, I witnessed something that reminded me of what real inclusivity looks like. Emily's head snapped up. He continued, a visitor came to our office, a woman who happened to be deaf. Many of us might have overlooked her needs, but one of our interns did not. She used sign language to communicate with her. She made her feel welcomed, respected, and seen. The room murmured. Emily's heart pounded. He couldn't be talking about her, could he? She probably didn't even realize anyone was watching, Mr. Lancaster said, his gaze settling directly on her. But I was. And I want everyone here to know her name. Emily. Every head turned. Emily's face went hot, her stomach twisting. She wanted to disappear into her chair, but at the same time, something inside her stirred, a flicker of pride. She didn't do it for recognition, Mr. Lancaster said. She did it because it was the right thing to do. That's the kind of spirit this company needs. The applause that followed felt surreal. Emily sat frozen, a lump in her throat. For the first time, people saw her, not as the shy intern, but as someone who mattered. But not everyone was impressed. After the meeting, a fellow intern named Claire cornered her by the coffee machine. Claire was confident, stylish, and competitive, the exact opposite of Emily. She gave a tight smile. Wow, Emily. Guess you're the CEO's favorite now, she said, her tone laced with sarcasm. One little trick, and you're a hero. Emily's cheeks burned. It wasn't a trick, she whispered. Sure, Claire said, rolling her eyes. Just don't let it go to your head. Emily walked away, her confidence wavering. Doubt crept in. Maybe it wasn't a big deal. Maybe she was just lucky the CEO noticed. But the universe wasn't done testing her. The following week, Grace returned, this time with her young daughter, a girl of about 7. The little one clung to her mother nervously, clearly uncomfortable in the noisy office. Emily spotted them instantly and knelt to the girl's level. Hello, she signed slowly, making sure the child could follow. I'm Emily. What's your name? The girl's eyes widened, then lit up. She signed back shyly, Lily. Emily grinned. Nice to meet you, Lily. Within minutes, Lily was laughing silently, showing Emily her drawings while Grace watched with tears in her eyes. The room seemed to fade away, it was just them, a quiet pocket of understanding in a world full of noise. And once again, Richard Lancaster was watching. This time, he didn't just observe. After Grace and Lily left, he called Emily into his office. Her heart nearly stopped. She had never spoken to him directly before. When she stepped inside, she expected cold professionalism. Instead, he gestured to the chair opposite his desk. Sit, Emily. She perched nervously on the edge of the seat. I wanted to thank you, Richard said. His voice was firm, but not unkind. Not just for helping our visitor, but for reminding me of something important. Emily blinked, unsure what to say. You see, he continued, my younger sister was deaf. She passed away many years ago. Watching you with Grace and her daughter brought back memories I hadn't thought about in a long time. It reminded me how vital it is to create spaces where people feel they belong. Emily's throat tightened. She hadn't expected this. Richard leaned forward. I want you to help me. We're launching a new inclusivity initiative. Training programs, accessibility improvements, community outreach. And I think you're the perfect person to be involved. Emily's eyes widened. Me? But I'm just an intern. Not anymore, Richard said. You're someone who sees people. That's rarer than you think.